To I Rock Business Entrepreneur Series. I am your host, Corey Fonville Foster, and I am super excited to have an amazing guest and crafter with me here today, Miss Pamela Chase from Hooked4U. How are you doing today, Miss Pamela?
I'm great. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm super excited that you're here. I love crafting. My mom's a crafter. So anything that has to do with doing things with your hands, gifting people things that make them smile, I am down for it. So I do want
Great.
to know because most of the time people don't just start crafting at a young age. Maybe you did. I want to know what got you into crocheting.
Well, when I was young, my mother taught me how to crochet. She taught me how to make doilies with a little hook, and she taught me how to make doilies. So I started making doilies. That was my start. Then I had an aunt a couple years later that taught me how to make hats. So from then on, I just kept going on with it and making other things. I just loved it because I'm pretty much a creative person, and I'm always doing different crafty things, but crochet has stuck with me.
That's amazing. So, what made you transition from kind of having a hobby of crocheting to then having a full business and having this Hooked4U brand? And what is Hooked4U?
Okay, well, Hooked4U is a business that I created in 2015. It was created because I've always wanted to do something other than a job. I've had a lot of issues on my job, and I always wanted to do something. But what I was doing was I was doing a lot of direct sales stuff and multi level marketing stuff. And I had a coworker because what I used to do was I used to make blankets for kids for baby showers. Instead of buying a gift, I would make blankets. So one of my coworkers who was a recipient of a blanket for his child just told me, why don't you just go ahead and just do it as a business? Just go ahead and he gave me all the pointers on how to get it started and all that. So that's how it was born. It was born in, like I said earlier, 2015, while I was still working.
That's pretty cool. I did read because I know you for people who don't know, when we do these podcasts, I always ask questions to get a little bit more information about my guests. And I thought it was interesting that you were doing, 9 to 5 kind of government work for many years, and then you transitioned due to health. Because I know from my personal story, I was in the medical field for many years, and then I left because of health issues too. So I wanted to know, what was that transition like for you to, have been doing similar things for many years and then having to kind of jump into something else?
It wasn't that hard for me because I think I had been working for 30 years at that time, close to 30 years, and I had a really stressful job with stressful people, and I've always felt that it wasn't for me, it wasn't my place. Even though I worked for 30 years in the government, it wasn't my thing, and I realized that, it got to the point where they pretty much tried to force me out after I had a sickness. They pretty much tried to force me out. So I was allowed to retire, and I just went ahead and said, I'm gonna do this.
No, that's pretty cool. At least they'll let you retire. I was nowhere near the age to retire, so I just had to cut my losses. But that's good. It's not always smooth sailing when people have to leave a job. But I guess you were ready. Like you were ready. Like you said, this
Yeah, I
was
was.
for you, so you knew there were better things ahead.
Right.
I was holding on for dear life, like please, this is what I want to do. But I'm so
Wow.
happy that it happened. That now I am my own boss, because you're right. Sometimes you have to work in environments that are pretty toxic. They're stressful. You're dreading going in. You're having that anxiety in the morning. Oh, look, Monday morning, waking up and being like, why do I have to go?
Yes.
and you're in your car trying to put on a smile before you walk in. And now it's nice because look, you don't have to do that anymore.
No, I sure don't.
Look, isn't it nice? Like people who are thinking about taking that leap, come on, it's nice over here in the I don't have to dread going to work every day club. So I do
Yes.
want to ask you, because crocheting is a very specific thing. Who is your target audience? Who are you really trying to help with Hooked for You?
We pretty much targeting women and children.
Okay, women and children. I think that's a great target. I always tell people, anybody can buy your products. We love everybody's money, but it's always great to know who your audience is. And I think that's really smart, especially when it comes to crafts, things with your hands. Typically, of course, we have our moms, grandmas, and those types of people. And then, of course, getting the kids in there to get creative. That's a great place for them. Art and any type of anything creative is always therapeutic, right? You could have a bad day, you get some clay in your hands, you get a paintbrush, you get some yarn, anything. It just helps you relax. So I think it's great that these are the people that you are targeting. Even though we've had some fun, we've been talking about the good parts of entrepreneurship. I always do like to ask my guests, about the hurdles they face in business, because every day is not sunshine and rainbows, right? We all have, tough times, whether it be with our marketing or finding our clients or making sales or what have you. What has been a really big hurdle for you as you've gone through being a business owner?
One of the things is, by it being a crafty business, people are not really aware of it. They're not really, you have to really teach them and show them that it is a viable thing to do, a viable vocation, because a lot of times they think, okay, you just crochet, so you have to actually teach them that, of things of it. And now it's more prevalent now than it used to be. There are more people out there doing it and selling it now. So you have to make people aware, and that's the main thing, is doing that in pricing, because a lot of people don't want to pay the prices for it. And that's that thing.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with that, because when you have a special skill that is time consuming, you have to get paid for your time, and then of course your expertise and skill set. And so people who are unfamiliar like with how much work it really takes and how much skills it takes to do something often are like, well, why does it cost this? That doll in Walmart, it looks like it's made of yarn and it only costs $10. Why does yours cost 40? Well, that one at Walmart was made on a machine, and there's 1,000 of them that look exactly the same. And when you go home, that button eye is gonna pop off. But mine is made by mine's made by hand with love and care, and there's not a single another one exactly like it. So I think, I always tell people that too. It's just, you got to be okay with education. You got to tell people, you can't lower your prices because you're going to be in the poorhouse. You can't necessarily skyrocket your prices because you got to do your market research. But if you know your prices are fair, sometimes it does take, like you said, a little bit of educating, a little bit of patience with people. They say, well, let me tell you the process that I went through to make this one of a kind piece. Let me talk you through the materials and how I go and find the best materials to do what you see here. And it's, sometimes you have to know how to talk about your business, talk about your passion and explain to people why it's really worth getting it. And I think when it comes to crafts, a lot of people don't understand the fact that really you're paying for a memory. You're not paying just for the item, you're paying for the memory, because just like back in the day when our grandparents would make us something, it was like, oh my gosh, this is made just for me. Same thing when it comes to things, especially like crocheted or things that are knitted or sewn. It's like, this was made for me. These things can be passed down generation to generation. These things hold more value than the little Barbie doll you may get at the store. And that's what we really want people to understand. The crafting is just a beautiful thing, especially because I know you also teach crochet, which is that is so cool, because it's more prevalent. I think it is still a bit of a dying art because we have so much technology that people are like, what? I don't feel like it, but that's amazing that somebody can still come to you and learn, because I tried once upon a time. It was not successful. I tried to learn to knit once upon a time. It wasn't my
Wow.
mom sews, so you would think I would be good, but nope, I can't thread a needle to save my life. So I love
I
that.
understand.
How long have you been teaching crochet?
I started when I was working. I used to teach people at lunchtime how to crochet. So I started back in 2013, 14, something like that. I started. So then I just said, let me go ahead and do this. But at one time I was thinking of just doing a nonprofit and doing it, but then I just changed that and making it
That's pretty
profit.
cool.
And
Mhm.
and you talked about the memories and things. One of my best sellers are baby blankets. I've always done that, and I hear stories of kids that still holding on to those blankets because you just have a feeling of that softness of that blanket, and they get older, they still want that blanket.
Yeah, I think my mom has my baby blanket, and I know when my son was born, I believe my mother, I think it was my mother who gifted me at my baby shower. It was like a white and blue. I think it was knitted, but it was a baby blanket, and I remember that we have it somewhere. Like my kiddo's like 9 now, but we have it somewhere, and that I agree. Those kinds of things are just so memorable because they
Yeah.
were, like I said, one of a kind. They were made for that person and that person alone, and it's not just the run of the mill, Power Rangers blanket. Like anybody can have one of
Right.
those. And so, yeah, it's really, that's just such a precious thing. I think that people really have to stop and say, okay, what memories are we making? Remember those quilted blankets like that people would make
Hmm.
out of like their old shirts? Like those are memories that you
Right.
think about. And the same thing with crochet. It's such a beautiful art, and it's so time consuming. Good gracious. It
Yeah.
definitely is a labor of love. You have to love what you do to crochet. So I
True.
applaud you because you must be a
Thank
very
you.
patient soul.
I am. I am.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you now just getting it okay. I like it. Like that's because I know a little bit about it. So I want to ask you because most of my audience are fairly new entrepreneurs. Some of them are thinking about entrepreneurship and haven't even jumped out there yet. So I want to ask if you had one tip to give a new entrepreneur, what would it be?
Invest in your business. Um, get a business coach or a mentor or somebody to guide you through. Just 'cause don't just do it by yourself. It's hard. Get somebody to guide you through it. That's the most important thing to do.
Yeah, I think you're right about that because it's not that you can't be successful with that one. It's the fact that you have to go through all of the learning trials on the way to success. So, things that another person already knows because they've been there and done that, they could have warned you and said, hold on, don't do that. Don't wait, turn right instead
Yes.
of left. To keep you on the path, you have to go through that and learn those lessons for yourself. And so I think you're right. I had to invest in my first business coach, and I tell people, don't think of it as a purchase. Don't think of it as like you have to spend money, right? It's an investment. Because if
Right.
you get the right coach, if you get the right people behind you, really lifting you up and helping you where you're trying to go, then the investment is so worth it because you're going to make more a lot faster than you would had you not got those people to kind of be in your corner. Just like the best boxer, they're great, but they need those people in the corner with them to help them out, get the blood out their eyebrows and make sure they sew up their scars. Like, yeah, all of that, we need that as business owners, somebody to just be in the ring with us and help us and guide us and make sure that we're going to be going the right way and going in the way that will really benefit our business.
Right.
Love that.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool too because people don't think about this. You can pay for a business coach, yes, but there's nothing wrong with having a mentor that does something similar to what you do. And I find this
Right.
oftentimes with crafters that they don't think about that. Like you have all these crafter friends, get together and talk about best practices and what vending events are the best ones to go to, which ones are a waste of time. I used to have to go to vending events when I started my first business, and if I would have had a little friend and be like, "Oh, don't go to that one. You're not gonna make no money."
Right. Right.
Nice. So yeah,
That's right.
have a group of people, like-minded people around you, even if you can't yet afford to invest in a coach that can help you just know know a little bit more about the business industry you're in, such as crafting, or if you're in marketing, or if you're in coaching, or what have you, whatever lane you're going down. But I think, like you said, investing in a coach, you ain't lying there.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And I think if anybody, look, if anybody's listening now who does any type of craft, you need to talk to Miss Pamela. She knows. Look, she says she's been in the game for a while. Better talk to Miss Pamela. Her links will be below, so you can say, Miss Pamela, help me out. I'm just starting out. I'm trying to do this, so that she can give you some good feedback and tips. Because look, you seem like a quiet lady, but most crafters are. They're pretty reserved. But I'm sure you have loads
Right.
of advice.
Right. You're right.
Get you some coffee and have a good conversation.
True that.
So, Miss Pamela, before we go, look, time goes by fast. Before we go, I do want to ask you, tell us a little bit about what products and services you have, just in case anybody's interested.
We have our classes, and the class are one-on-one classes, and we have group classes too. And right now we're doing them on Zoom. So we offer our classes. We have an inventory of items that we sell. We do some customized, but we don't do a lot of it. Our main items are hats, scarves, towels, and blankets. That's what mainly we do. I mean, I do bikini tops and other things too, but those are our main items. And then one other thing I want to bring up, that we have a group that meets, and we donate to charity. We crochet together and we donate items to charity. It's called Willing Hands. And what we do is we meet every other week, every other Saturday, and we talk about crochet and different things dealing with crochet, and we do things for different charities. We mainly do cancer charities, because we participate in the Race for the Cure in DC, where we give out hats. People donate to us. We make hats ourselves, and we just get them together and we donate them to different causes. We're looking into doing causes for babies now. So we're looking for partners and people who want to join us.
That's amazing. I love that. Like, people, you can't forget when you're in business to give back at some point. So I love that you are invested in your community and you're invested in the health of our nation, basically, because cancer hits a lot of people. So I love that you are, working with nonprofits. So guys, if you're listening, if you're trying to find a way to give back, again, hit up Miss Pamela, because even if you thinking, oh, I don't crochet, I'm sure the girls that are doing the crocheting could use some funds to buy the materials. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to always be the person making the stuff. You got to realize, know what your gifts are. Maybe you can, if you do marketing, maybe you can help them market what they need to market so that they can get things to who needs them. Whatever your gift is, think about it. If you have something that can benefit Miss Pamela and the ladies that are making these amazing things to gift, people in need, please do reach out. I think it's so important that we never forget to invest in our communities and the people around us. It's nice to make money. I understand. Look, I'm here for it, but we also definitely want to give back. So I appreciate you, and that you and the ladies you're working with are really taking that time, because again, everything is time. Time is money. You're taking that time to invest in the community. So yes, if you want to partner, again, her links will be below. Like I said, if you just want to throw her some money, we'll find her Cash App or PayPal. We'll just throw her some money to get some supplies so that she can be a blessing to someone else. And remember, she said she does Zoom classes. So you're in DC, Miss Pamela?
I'm in Virginia right now.
Virginia, okay, VA. I'm in Virginia too. So if you are in the nearby area, you definitely can get Miss Pamela probably after COVID. But if not, she does do classes via Zoom. So definitely check those out. I think that classes on Zoom have been amazing for most people. I've done a few different types of classes, and I think it's nice because you almost feel like you're right there with them, doing all the things, and usually supplies are easy to come across. So I would definitely say check it out. I might have to grab me a little invite to the class and try again. Look, maybe now that I'm older, I might be
come on,
a little bit better. Look, if not, I might tell the kids like, hey, y'all want to learn something? But yeah, I struggle, y'all. Y'all pray for me, because my creativity when it comes to my hands, I probably crochet my fingers together, but we'll see. But Miss Pamela, I do want to ask before we go, how do people find you?
Well, I am, our website is I have a website, www.hooked4u.com is my website. I'm on Facebook where and it's Hooked for You is HOOKED, the number 4, the letter U 2. It's on my it's my Facebook. And every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I go live and I talk about yarn and different things, and also we do projects. I learn stitches. So I am on Facebook on my business page. That was the business page I gave you.
Okay.
And we're on Instagram, Hooked for You on Instagram. That's how you can reach me.
Awesome. So if you're listening to the podcast, definitely check out the episode notes and her information will be there. If you're watching on YouTube, hi lovelies. Her information will be in the description of the video. So we definitely will put all of her links there. And again, if you want to partner with Miss Pamela, please do reach out and be a blessing to her and the other ladies that she's working with. If you're looking for a class and you want to learn a new skill during this lovely time of quarantining, please do check out Miss Pamela's classes as well. And if you're just interested in like what is crochet, we've been saying this word and you've never heard of it, definitely check her out because she says she goes live, guys. So hey, that's free resources. Go in there, check out what she's talking about, and learn something new. So I do want to thank you, Miss Pamela, for coming on to the podcast. You have been a pleasure. You are just so sweet.
Thank you. Thank you.
This has been great. I've loved just talking to you. I'm definitely going to show my mom this episode because, like I said, she's a crafter as well, so she'll definitely love everything you said. And I look forward to checking you out. I need to follow you on social media. I want to learn, so I definitely will. And guys who are listening. Guys who are listening or watching, remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock, and I will see you guys next episode.